new episodes of The View when she tries to pull the race card.
Yes.
And then she's like, America is racist. And then they're like, yeah, they might be racist, but they're not like slave owner racist. like somebody that we...
That's so true.
Yeah.
One thing, and I would have even actually not give her any is she said, well, I guess that's just what they did back then.
Yeah.
She should have followed that up with saying something along the lines of, and I understand that that's a departure from the way I've talked about this.
The punchline landed perfectly, sparking laughter throughout the room. Yet, Greg Gutfeld wasn't content with simply delivering a joke. He seized the moment to highlight what he saw as clear hypocrisy. For years, Sunny Hostin had been vocal about holding others accountable for their ancestral histories, often framing her arguments around systemic oppression and historical guilt. However, when confronted with details about her own family's controversial past, she seemed to dismiss it casually as though it were just part of life. Gutfeld didn't let this go unnoticed. He pointed out how such instances expose the dangers of identity politics, particularly when someone's narrative doesn't align with their reality. He argued that Sunny's moral authority had just crumbled, stressing the need for self-awareness and nuance when addressing complex issues like race and history.
In her defense, everyone has ancestors that did unspeakably horrible things. It's just that not everyone's ancestors have records tied to their DNA about it. Worried for Sunny Hostin's progeny in the future that do a DNA test and find out that they were related to a cast member of The View. And they're like, oh, it all makes so much sense now. Why I'm so stupid and fat.
And inconvenient truths. For Gutfeld, this wasn't just about Sunny. It was a broader lesson on how personal responsibility often takes a backseat to performative outrage. The internet quickly reacted, with social media buzzing with memes and sharp humor, including a viral post that read, "Reparations? Let me write that check to myself real quick." On platforms like Twitter and TikTok, users passionately voiced their opinions, some defending Sunny by arguing she shouldn't be held accountable for her ancestors' actions, while others pointed out her clear double standard. In her defense, everyone has ancestors who did unspeakably horrible things. It's just that not everyone's ancestors have records tied to their DNA. There were even jokes about how Sunny's progeny might one day do a DNA test and discover they were related to a cast member of The View, leading to the conclusion, oh, it all makes sense now why I'm so stupid and fat. This sparked a passionate debate. Should public figures like Sunny be held to the same moral standards they demand from others? Critics argued that her response lacked the introspection and growth that should accompany such a prominent platform. Meanwhile, Sunny's dismissive reaction to her family's past shifted the conversation from potential self-reflection to accusations of hypocrisy. Instead of engaging with the complexities of ancestry and accountability, the focus turned to her failure to reckon with her own history, morphing the issue into yet another debate about moral accountability. Then came the awkward aftermath on The View as news broke about her ancestors being slave owners. The lively tone at the table quickly evaporated, leaving an uncomfortable silence. Even Whoopi Goldberg, known for her quick retorts, seemed uncertain how to respond to such an ironic twist. In contrast, the atmosphere on Gutfeld's show was far more relaxed, with his co-hosts not holding back, making sharp jabs and playful remarks. One co-host even suggested that Sunny might need to start shaming herself for her family's past. Their laughter acted as a pointed critique, further exposing cracks in Sunny's moral stance. Even Rosie O'Donnell chimed in, offering a more thoughtful perspective on the situation. "Guess there's nothing worse than finding out you're a white woman," she said, adding, "She's so disappointed. Her mother was white." Oh my God, her history and finds out she's descended from slaveholders. She's been getting a lot of mail about her call for reparations, because it turns out she's going to be paying them, not receiving them. O'Donnell emphasized that individuals should be judged by their actions, not their ancestry, and warned against oversimplifying complex issues like race and history. Her viewpoint highlighted how such revelations can challenge rigid narratives, prompting uncomfortable but necessary self-reflection. The responses to Sunny's reaction revealed a clear divide. Some saw it as an opportunity for personal accountability, while others viewed it as yet another example of identity politics backfiring. Regardless of perspective, the tension surrounding her response was unmistakable. What could have been an opportunity for growth for Sunny instead turned into a debate over her perceived hypocrisy and reluctance to face her own past, taking it on stage. Meanwhile, Sunny's personal life took another controversial turn, this time with attention shifting to her husband, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, who is now embroiled in a massive legal crisis. The allegations include insurance fraud, legal kickbacks, and a high-profile RICO lawsuit. This is far from a typical legal dispute. It's a high-stakes scandal with the potential to shake the medical world. At the heart of the lawsuit is a scheme allegedly masterminded by Dr. Hostin and others, exploiting the healthcare system for financial gain. The charges include accepting bribes to perform unnecessary surgeries and submitting fraudulent insurance claims for procedures that may never have occurred. Picture patients undergoing anesthesia for surgeries they didn't need, while insurance companies unwittingly footed the bill. If these allegations prove true, this could become one of the most shocking medical scandals in recent memory. Dr. Hostin's lawyer, Daniel Thwaites, has responded vigorously, calling the lawsuit unfounded and accusing the insurance company of using it as a distraction to cover their own financial problems. The legal conflict has only intensified, but what truly makes this situation explosive is its direct connection to Sunny, who may have been fully aware of her husband's questionable actions. Enter Joe Rogan, the podcast mogul, who wasted no time pointing out the hypocrisy he perceived on The View. He highlighted that while Sunny frequently criticized others for their medical advice, she never acknowledged the possibility that she might have known about her husband's alleged illegal activities. Rogan's remarks further stoked the flames, casting doubt on Sunny's credibility as she found herself caught between her public image and her husband's legal troubles. This is no longer just about the lawsuit. It's about the reality behind the public personas of well-known figures. The drama continues to unfold, and how Sunny chooses to address it or remain silent will likely shape how the public perceives her in the future. From one controversy to the next, this time it wasn't The View or a political debate, but rather Carrie Underwood's decision to perform at the presidential inauguration that drew attention. Critics wondered how she could say she loves her country while normalizing a convicted
As news
felon.
of her ancestors being
The
slave
country
owners
music
broke.
superstar, beloved for her pure talent and drama-free image, suddenly found herself in the crosshairs of cancel culture. What was meant to be a moment of pride, a chance to celebrate her country, quickly turned into a whirlwind of backlash. Critics were quick to accuse her of supporting a convicted felon simply because she agreed to perform. But here's the twist. It wasn't about the performance itself. It was about what the performance represented to people who couldn't separate their political biases from their admiration for her as an artist. Carrie Underwood has spent—
I guess there's nothing worse than to find out you're a white woman.
She's so disappointed.
It's really disappointing.
Her mother was white.
Oh my
The
God.
shame.
Oh my God.
The horror. History, and finds out that she's— this is fantastic. She is descended from slaveholders. She's descended from slaveholders, and she's been apparently getting a lot of mail about her call for reparations because it turns out she's going to be paying them and not actually